Hello and welcome back, and most likely welcome to my channel. I'm Jaji, and in today's video I'll be trying to transfer over my reading list from Notion over to Storygraph. So somewhat recently I showed you guys how I use Notion and mainly how I use it for like my reading list and everything. I'll put that video up here just so you can refer back to it. But I kind of wanted to try GoodReads because I like Notion just so I can keep track of like my reading list of like recommendations I get from other people, but I kind of wanted a way to keep track of my list as it grows since I am reading many books. And I also want to like find recommendations because I had to go like hunting for recommendations not too long ago, and I'd rather just have an algorithm just telling me what to read. To be honest, like might as well have the algorithms doing some good. So I figured I would go with GoodReads, but then I remembered I had an old GoodReads account from many years ago. I haven't used it. What year is it? It's 2021. 5 years to a decade, like 5 to 10 years. It was the last time I like opened my GoodReads. So, and I didn't, when I was like using it, I didn't like put anything on it. I would just like try to use it. So there's not much on there anyways. So I'm gonna try to set up a Storygraph, which I found through like looking up like alternatives for GoodReads. I watched a few videos on it, and it's basically a nicer like looking version of GoodReads with more innovative like intuitive stuff that isn't owned by Amazon, because GoodReads is owned by Amazon and like they're already hard enough to avoid, so I'm trying to distance myself where I can. I am recording my laptop screen just so I can show you guys what I'm looking at on Storygraph. So right now I just started recording on my computer so you guys can see like the Storygraph website and like how I'm getting there. So I just googled Storygraph. We're gonna go to storygraph.com, and they're not in beta mode anymore. I think I said before when I was hearing about them they were in beta mode. So I'm gonna sign up, and I'm gonna cut this part out because y'all don't need to know this about me. I don't have any data to export from my GoodReads. Can I get my Notion in a CSV format? Let's find out. Let's see, kitties, can it be done? I severely doubt it. It's in a table. So maybe I just like I made this table, so like is it what it should be? Possibly not. So we're gonna just see if we can export a Notion table in CSV format and if that like works for a Storygraph. Especially considering I made this table myself and like I don't know if it's like, you know, you can export it as CSV, Markdown and CSV. I don't know what that means. So we're just gonna export it. Where is it going? Notion reading list. Let's see if that's a thing. We love it. I already love it. It's a zip file. Is it gonna do 2 separate ones? Where does it go? Is it done? This is a CSV right here, baby boo. Okay, rename her. Do that, right. Go back to Chrome, choose a file. I hope it works. Okay. Okay. All that to say, you can't import any CSV file to Storygraph. Though I wish they changed it down the line into the future, because like CSVs are like kind of simple, but like kind of not, which I understand. So we're gonna skip this. We're gonna not import. When you tell the Storygraph your reading preferences, we're able to give you high-quality personal book recommendations. In the mood for something specific? With our quick and easy search tool, let us know what you're looking for and we'll find the best matches for you on demand. Let's take a survey. Love surveys. What are your favorite genres? Strong world building. Yes, make that world realistic. Don't leave plot holes in your world design. My favorite books growing up, like books where like the author like make their own languages or like make their own like history for their people. Like, love it. Strong character development. High quality writing. I was gonna choose women author, women heavy cast of characters. I feel like when I was reading YA books many years ago, it was mainly female based, so like I'm just trying to be more well-rounded right now, so I'll fine-tune later on. Are there any genres you don't like or are interested right now? Religion, don't like her. No offense, kitties. True crime, no thank you. What don't I like? I was gonna say politics, but I'm currently reading Obama's book right now, so I can't really say that. I don't love horror, but horror gets real intertwined with like magical realism sometimes and like fantasy, that we're gonna leave it just for a little zest. Nothing here is like a hard no. I'm not gonna read a cookbook on it. I might need to buy a cook. I'm kind of indecisive, if you haven't noticed. That's it, only those two. What turns you off? A predictable plot. I hate when I'm reading a book and I'm like, it's gonna end like this, and then I'm right. Prove me wrong. Flat characters. Unlikable characters. I don't mind if some characters are unlikable, unless it's like the main character and we're reading it from their perspective. I'm like, I hate you. Stop talking to me. Poor writing. Obviously, I don't want a book that's written poorly. Gory horror. I'm gonna put a no. I don't like that. I can't. The other ones are like hard. Like I can kind of do gory horror if it's like a vampire book, but like confusing, ambiguous ending. Just don't write the book. You know what? Just don't write it. And I am never really in the mood for books that are tense. I read books to escape. That is my coping. That is my remedy. Why would I want a tense book? Like it can be dark and it can be like mysterious and shit, but like don't stress me out. We're gonna submit those, and I still want to like, I'm gonna do this later because I still need to transfer for my reading list. So come on, I want to see like if it's easy to just start from scratch, because most people just like import, but I want to like basically start from scratch. I'm intrigued already, but we're gonna skip it. We're just gonna go with my reading list. So the first thing on my reading list is Becoming by Michelle Obama. I should just be able to type in Becoming and it pops up. It's not on to read. It's red. Wait, what? Okay. Am I still recording? This is me. Add a review. I don't have to add reviews. I hate reviewing books so much because I feel like it's homework, and sorry. We're just gonna move on. How Google clicks. This video is probably very, very chaotic. I'm sorry. I read this one. I'm hoping I can like edit these. Let's go to my Storygraph right now, just those two books. So based off those two books, it says mainly reads nonfiction books that are emotional, hopeful, and informative. Typically reads slow-paced books that are 300 to 499 pages long. How do I put the date that I read this book? There we go. I finished reading this book January 6th. This website was made by somebody not in America, probably European, because they have the day before the month. Crazies. It's wild of you. I think it's saved. I don't have to hit save, I don't think. And then how Google works, I finished reading that on the 9th. I wish it had like a starting date, just so I could see, like, express how long it took me to read that, because I was starting that book in October. It says October 31st to January 9th. That's not some time right there. But it's cool. It's cool. Next book on my list, Good Omens. I read this book based off of the show. I love the show, and I was like, I gotta read it. They have different covers. I wish I could like edit the dates of things like right here. Storygraph people, if you're watching, please take my recommendations. And I guess if I just click the title, there we go. I finished reading her January 27th. I'm reading this one. Currently reading. Okay. I can track my progress. I could put what page I'm on. I actually have this book, so I'm gonna mark it as owned because I own this one. I'm gonna track my progress. I just started like 2 days ago. I'm on page 38. I'm excited. I'm 19%. Okay, I love the percentages. Like on my Libby app, which is like what I use for like library books, they give you percentages so you know how far along you go. Back to my Storygraph. It's stuck at non-fiction, reflective, dark, informative. I kind of want to add more fiction, so it's not just like, though it's mainly, this is true, I mainly read non-fiction at this point, but it's where I'm currently at. Own books. Do I own any other books on this list? I do not believe so. Though I can add things to like to be read that I haven't read. So what's up here? What do I got up here? I think I got what's that one book that I didn't really enjoy? Let's see. I'm like at my bookshelf, so don't mind me. Think and Grow Rich. Okay. I have the Think and Grow Rich book. I've not been able to get through it. I'll get through it. Napoleon Hill. Did not finish. I can add an explanation. I don't know how far I got. Wait. It's not a review. I don't want to do it. That's gonna be did not finish, but then to read. Okay. We're going to my Storygraph. We're gonna see all my listings. We have 2 books under currently reading. 7 books under recently read. That is not all of the books. And then own books. And then I have a to-read pile. It's weird stacking. There's like a main center where it's like the currently read, recently reading, or read recently, read that backwards, and own books. And a small little thing, I guess if it's just like one, they just put them in a little square. So own books, I have Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. And then to read pile, which is the year I was making money, and then like the stats of my reading. So let's find a book. Let's just add a book to read. They got that like shift, the 3D book thing. Your recommendation, let's explore. I kind of want fiction. Can I tell you that? I want fiction. I can choose books in my to read at books I own, so like it's a good thing to like build upon the books in here that I own, so like it knows. So I'm gonna search what's fiction. Give me some fiction. It's a little slow, love. A little slow. Do y'all know I'm black? A demonic face, soul destroying force that preys on the human mind. Yeah, I'll add it to my to read. Yeah. Community. Wait, I just skipped over reading challenges. You have read 5 books this year. That's inaccurate. Reading over 2021. How many books do I want to read this year? 40 books. 40 books. Because I gotta update you. But let's see how far along I am. You've got this. What? You're behind my 8 books. But you can add other goals, like a page goal and stuff. Let's go to the community page tab. How are the people similar to me? So they like suggest people who like are similar to me and like let me know what they're reading, so I can read based on what they're reading, and I can also follow people by username or email. Cool, cool. Once I add my old books, actually let's see if I can sign into GoodReads. Let's see if I can find my GoodReads and sign into her because I'm curious. Under want to read. Okay, this only has 14 books in it. And I know for a fact I read 1, 2, 3, 1, maybe 2. This is like nothing. The Gathering. I think I have The Gathering. I have that book. I have this one on my bookshelf right now. I used to love the Bloodline series. I don't really remember this one. It feels very vampire-y. Orion Legacies. I feel like I remembered reading it, but like didn't really enjoy it that much. This I read because it was on the start all. Okay, well, my reminiscence on GoodReads is very short-lived, as I only use this site for like a month in 2011, as a little bit less than 10 years ago. That's that. But yeah, back to Storygraph. I like it. It's cool. I'm gonna see if it's comparable to my reading list, which one I prefer using down the line. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this somewhat chaotic, somewhat realistic adventure of trying to set up my Storygraph account. So some days later, I finished updating my Storygraph by just inputting all the other books I've read, and as you can see, some things have changed. My recommendations have changed based on the books that I've read, as well as I have 2 books on the side for my currently reading. Now my reading goals have progressed a bit just because I updated my reading list as well, and we're going to the community page. I've not used this page yet, but in the future I'll venture and see what she has in store. You can see my 2 currently readings, my read recentlys, my to reads, my unreads. So this is a list of like all the books that I've so far read this year. And here you can also see my stats. So mainly reads nonfiction, and if you go inside you can see my reading goals as well as like the types of books I've been reading, and they're like, I guess, emotions of the books. Most of my books are like inspiring and such because they are self-help majority of the time, which you'll see later down the line as well. Here you can see just more stats on all my books, and then the next one has different ranges of page numbers that I've been reading. I need to read some larger books, but that can be resolved later on. And here you can see my nonfiction to fiction ratio and the specific genres that I've been reading the most. So that's going to be all for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about Storygraph or my experience with it, or want anything else written out in more detail, please do let me know in the comments. And please like, comment, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you. Bye.